Yay! We are live, and I am so happy to have you here. We are having these expert panels this week, and it's for the multi author book Arise. It's a wonderful book, and it's about stories of fearless, and unapologetic women being their own guiding stars. And as many of you know, my name is Eleanor Amora, and I am the founder of the House of Sovereignty and the Media House of Sovereignty. And my book projects are my babies. This is what I do to create a new world, a better world, together with my amazing authors. And I am so super happy to have Adriana, Monique, Alvarez here today, and Ebony Langston, as well as Gunilla Fasal from Sweden. And I am going to introduce them to you by reading their bios. So, first one up is Adriana. And I'm having my papers here. Welcome, Adriana. Adriana Monique Alvarez is the CEO and founder of AMA Publishing. She's an international best-selling author and has been seen in Forbes, Huffington Post, International Living, Addicted to Success, Elephant Journal, Fox, ABC, and NBC. She mentors high-level coaches, consultants, and service providers on how to start their own high-earning, global impact publishing houses. She's currently living in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, where she's renovating her grandparents' home and learning how to homestead with her husband, Derek, and two sons, Sam and Grant. Welcome, Adriana. I am so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
We are too. This is amazing. And I'm going to continue with the next one in line to welcome. So, welcome Ebony Langston. Ebony is an executive and health coach and founder of You Deserve You. After spending 15 years in the corporate world in various senior level positions, Ebony realized that she was often in positions of devaluing her own health and self-worth to achieve more at work. She decided enough was enough and started prioritizing her health and well-being, and found by doing that she was able to contribute even more to those around her. Working with emerging leaders in their career and organization, Ebony's approach to coaching looks at the whole woman to create a unique, personalized strategy to achieving more by shifting the traditional hard worker mindset to one that prioritizes your own well-being first to better serve others. Ebony combines traditional executive coaching and health coaching to create high-performing women with high-performing bodies to sustain. Ebony has a bachelor's degree in psychology from Duke University, MBA from Webster University, is a certified diversity professional, Primal certified health coach, NASM personal trainer certified, and is pursuing board certification in executive coaching. Ebony has been featured on the Unleashed Unapologetically podcast, as well as in publications such as Brains Magazine and Thrive Global. You can follow Ebony through social media channels, where if you search for her name. So welcome so much, Ebony. It's a joy
Thanks
to have you.
for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's going to be such an amazing evening in Sweden. It's not your evening, though.
Not quite.
Yeah. So we're going to continue here with Gunilla. And Gunilla Fasal is an end-time player, a brilliant healer, and best-selling author who has chosen to incarnate in the final stages at this time. Gunilla and her colleague are co-creatrix of Global Collaboration of Light, holding wonderful workshops and performing healing sessions. Together, they perform magically cleansing and healing transformations, where Gunilla, as a powerful energy anchor, keeps the frequency strong and steady. No two sessions are alike, as everything from dragons, fairies, aliens, and angels usually reveal themselves. Gunilla has not always dared to be open about who she is, scared of being criticized for her gifts. But now she is completely transparent. Her specialty is getting in touch with the client's guides and conveying their message. She is brilliant at seeing other people's inner core behind all the imposed layers of protection. And additionally, she has a great ability to make clients feel good. So, welcome, Gunilla, as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here and a little bit scared too, because this is in English, not my mother tongue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And you are going to do great. And we are with friends here, so that is
Yeah. Yes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And it's so amazing to be here with these. I mean, you are powerhouse women. I am so proud to have you in this multi-author book projects. I mean, wow! I am just so happy to be able to create this platform and to be able to invite you to share your voices and your stories, because I have such a strong belief that it is through these stories that we are. I mean, we are owning our lives, our history. That is of such importance. And we have to own that history in order to create a better future, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself and what experience you share in the book. And I am going to start with Adriana with this question.
Well, I have to, we're going to start with confession. I had to pull my chapter out this morning because when I write and then I move on, and I said, I don't remember the details of what I shared, because it's like it's a full body experience when you contribute like this. So what I remembered is that I wrote the story of when my daughter, Nina, who is one of my guides and an ascended master that assists me in this life, when she shared with me, when we had this wrestling match, and she shared with me why she needed to be in my body, why she stayed there for 38 weeks and then left, and what the purpose of that was. And really, it was the time when I got more than intellectually, but literally in every cell of my being, that when we can understand how real the other side is, then we can fully tap into it. Then we can co-create with everything that's available to us, versus this life where we can trust and work with only those things that we can see, taste, touch, feel, and know on this plane. And so it was a powerful story of when I realized why it happened, and more than that, that I could handle it, that it was part of my path. It was what I asked for. It was me experiencing the full spectrum. And that's what we came here to do. And oftentimes when we're in pain or grief or loss or not being able to put the pieces together, we can get stuck in that. But we're built for so much. And that's what I shared in my story.
That is so, I mean, it's so beautiful and powerful. And it goes straight to my heart. It goes straight to my heart. So thank you. That is such an important message.
Thank you for the opportunity to share it.
Gunilla.
Yeah, as you said, Adriana, I was like, oh my God, I didn't remember anything about what I wrote in the chapter to this book. But I dive into my spiritual story, how I came to this world, and my journey, and when what I struggle with the most, that is what I'm sharing in this chapter. It's my stuttering problem, because I stutter, and I have done that the whole life. and it's even worse when it's not in Swedish. The English language is really hard for me to speak. So I dove into that in the chapter, how I see on the stuttering problem and the speech disability that I have, and how that formed me as a person and made me very, very forced, silenced as a child. And then how I came out through that and conquered that. And today I am a very brave woman sitting here with you guys, talk to you in English. So I am also writing a little bit about what an end time player is, because I am one, and I think, well, the most of the women in this book is one, but they don't know it. So I dive into that, and a little bit of spirituality, of course, because I am a very spiritual person, and how that came into my life, and so forth. Yeah.
And it's an interesting theme, as you say. I mean, we are end time players.
Yeah.
And for those of you wanting to know what it is, well, buy the book next Friday.
Exactly.
28th of May. So this is going to be a very, very exciting and powerful book. So thank you so much, Gunilla. Ebony, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So, this was a really great opportunity, I think, for me to dig deeper into some things I hadn't thought about in a very long time, actually. And I kind of wrote through my story of growing up and thinking my life was going to go a certain way, and it completely not going that way at all. But and some of the challenges of how that happened with just adopting a different mindset. I went to school thinking I was going to be a doctor. I really wanted to be in healthcare. And today I do work in healthcare, but just in a different capacity. I also grew up really wanting to be a mom. I wanted this Cosby Show type of family, and unfortunately ran into a lot of fertility and health issues that just didn't allow that to happen for me. But I have a whole slew of nieces and nephews that I have in my life that I can be a mother figure to. And so it's a story about just kind of changing your mindset to adapt to the reality of how things are. But then also not necessarily accepting that things have to happen to you, but you can take a level of control in the things that are happening in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is, I mean, if everyone could understand that, I mean, that is perhaps one of the most important messages, I mean, we can share, and that every one of us is sharing in one way or another in these different chapters. I mean, to really see the lessons in this, and to find it in your heart to see the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing. We're going to continue with another question. So, Adriana, can you please tell me what message or inspiration you want people to take away from reading your story?
Such a good question. Okay, so how to sum this up? I think the number one message that I want people to get is that when we go through things that challenge us and take us to our absolute edge, it is not to hurt us or to harm us. It is not to break us down, but it is more to crack us open so that we can understand the full capacity and everything that is within us. And then we can bring that fully to this life.
I love that. Thank you. Gunilla?
Yeah. I have been thinking about that question actually for a little while before we started this live. And for me, it's very important for me to make people stand in their own power, claim their spot in this world, and conquer their own fears, because that is what it's all about. Because when they do that, I mean, wow, the power and the strength that comes through that is so powerful that we can create a world that we have never seen before. And so for me, it's very, very important to make my client get that kickstart to like, come on, you can do it. Own your space, speak your truth, spread your wings.
Spread your wings, yeah. I
Yeah.
love that too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gunilla. Ebony.
Yeah, it's really great to be on here and hear some of the themes of the other stories, because I think there are very similar tones throughout. And, you know, my message again is really about making the mindset shift to realize that you do have some power in your own story. You do have some ownership and accountability in your own story. And when you take the time to take care of yourself, you're better able to present your best self to the world. So, and I truly believe that. It feels selfish, especially to women, I think, to take time for themselves and spend time on making themselves whole. But you can't take water out of an empty well. So you got to take care of yourself first.
Yeah,
True.
absolutely. So true. Thank you, Ebony. I also want to ask you, what inspired you to want to become an author? Yeah.
Well, I think this is part of what I chose to come here to do, is to be fully self-expressed and to find as many ways and channels and mediums as I can, like Gunilla said, to speak my truth. And becoming an author and publishing a story, it's that next level of self-expression. It's one thing for me to tell myself the story. It's another thing for me to tell someone who's around me. It's even another level to share on a public platform like social media. But when we make the decision to publish our story, I think of it as leaving a literary footprint. I have only one grandmother left. And so every memory I have, every recipe, every story is just what I can hold in my mind and in my heart. I have nothing written or documented. And I made the decision that that's going to be different for my children and grandchildren, that they will actually be able to hold a book and to know what I stood for and what I came here to do and what I valued and what I was passionate about and what just lit me up. So I am here to leave a literary footprint, and that's why I choose to become an author.
I love that. A true legacy.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we all stand behind that 100%. Yeah.
For sure.
So important for the next generation. I mean, we are sharing our truth, our values, our knowledge, our wisdom, everything. That is what we need to do. Thank you so much. Gunilla.
Yeah. For me, it's for me, the most important thing in this is to show my kids that I stand in my own power and I am not scared of speaking my voice. And I see that in them now, that they are standing up for themselves. And I also see that in my friends, co-workers, I see change. They think a little bit differently. They stand up for themselves, and it comes kind of organically. They don't even notice it themselves, but I do. Like, oh, she's telling that story, or she is doing this and that, and it's a kind of a different way of doing it, and that for me is the whole purpose of it all, to make people really be proud of who they are, and show that to everyone, and don't be scared. I mean, what can happen? Nothing. I mean, it's the best. So yeah, that is the most important thing to me.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was speaking to a friend today earlier, and I told her why I'm so passionate about the multi-author books, and that is because these stories are from normal women that you and me and our neighbors and everyone, and it shows that it is possible for everyone to take a stand, to share their voices, to be there in the forefront. I mean, inspiring change, because it's through that, when we are owning that energy of change, owning your life, then we create a ripple effect on our whole society, coming from that one person to the family and so forth in the community. So yeah, so true. Thank you. And Ebony.
Yeah, so being in with my company and having to be in front of people more and more, it's really important to me to show up as my most authentic self. And I thought a really important part of that was pushing the boundaries of my own vulnerability. The story I share in the book, particularly around all of my fertility issues, is a story to the detail that I share that not very many people know outside of my immediate family. And so for me, it was really an exercise in getting more comfortable in that vulnerability and sharing that story, and helping that guide and fuel my authenticity and how I show up in front of people.
Yeah, the authenticity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard word.
Yeah, it is.
And that's I mean, I often say that, and it's what makes people interesting. Even when you're an expert and you know what you do as a professional. I mean, there are a lot of professionals out there, but when you combine it with that authenticity, that is what creates magic, and what actually makes the clients choose you.
Exactly. Yeah. So
So I love that. I love it. So thank you. I by the way, I often tell people that the reason why I write is because, for example, now I have written so many books during the pandemic, and it's one. I mean, it's instead of going to a therapist.
Exactly.
There were points at the time that I was writing that I felt a tear. I was like, oh my God, I really have not talked about this in this detail in quite a long time. So it was a great opportunity to kind of connect back to my why, and the why I kind of got into health and wellness and in the beginning. So
it is. It truly is. And it's so amazing that we can actually make something like this also during a pandemic, and during something that should be hard, and it has been hard for so many people, of course, but we can actually create magic even though it should be hard. We create something from that place, and I love that. So how did I help you, guide you through this journey is one of the questions that we have. How have you felt being a part of the media house, the House of Sovereignty?
Well, Eleanor, I think your presence alone is such a powerful force. Women know that they are safe with you, but they also understand that they're being called for more. That there is this level of, like Ebony said, this isn't about writing something that's surface level. if you're going to participate and you're going to be included in what we do in this company, then you need to dig deep and you really need to find those golden nuggets. And so what I find is the culture that you've created in your company and the values that you stand for, it permeates absolutely everything. And so as I went through this process, you helped me go higher, go deeper, make it more rich. Like Ebony said, share things that you've never shared. This is a particular story I've not shared. And so you have that aspect, but then also you have the team and the organization that makes this whole process extremely easy. So it reminds us, yes, we are being asked to do more, and it's completely possible. Here are the steps. This is a pathway. You can do it. You absolutely set us up for success every single time.
Oh, thank you so much, Adriana. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I especially appreciate having a project manager because I'm a notorious procrastinator. And so having someone in the organization to help guide step by step what was upcoming and what the due dates were was fantastic.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I can also be like that. So that's a good thing to have someone coming with a telling us like send it in now. Yeah. Gunilla, how about you?
Yeah, you have helped me believe in myself. Yeah, and I have gained so much from that actually, because you have, thanks to you, I now appreciate my unique way of healing and my unique way of being myself, and to see my sovereignty and my grand me, that kind of way of looking at myself. I didn't do that before, and I mean that's quite common for us Swedes, so you are not a typical Swede in that way, and I really appreciate that, because then you kick me in the butt so I can move forward too. Yeah, so that is, thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're amazing and I love you.
I love you too.
So the next question is, writing can often be a solitary process. What was your experience working in a more collaborative setting with a mentor?
Well, this I think is one of the most powerful aspects of a multi-author book, is that while I'm responsible to write my chapter and to get quiet and to sit here with that blank page, I know I'm not in it alone. I know every single woman around me is going through the same process. And one of the things that stands out to me, the first time I really felt like I tapped into the collective strength of women was when I was getting ready to give birth the first time. And I remember my mom told me, tap into all that is around you. Tap into every woman who has carried life. Tap into every woman who's given birth. Tap into this collective energy that supports you. And this is a similar process. We get to tap into the collective energy and strength, which when you put all of us together, the challenges, the obstacles, all of the success, all of the high points, and you bring all of that together, we literally get to draw on who we are as a collective. And that is a powerful place to live from, and it's an incredible place to write from.
Yeah.
I also think that, I mean, so many of us have been longing for the sense of a tribe for so many lifetimes. I mean, when we came here, I mean, we're all spiritual. And when we came here, we were like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I sign up for?
Exactly.
That was the immediate reaction. Oh, now I have to do it.
Exactly. Wow.
And since then, I mean, we have longed for this belonging. So that is one of the reasons I think doing it together is making such a huge I mean, the energy from it, that's just amazing. And that makes you, just as you say, Adriana, it makes you feel, I mean, you feel trust in being in that group so that you can go deeper because you feel held.
Yeah, and safe and secure.
Yeah.
It's like a safe haven for women to just try their wings and talk about their chapters and all the emotions coming up that are maybe not so nice every single day, you know, and we are a soft place to fall when you have when you are in this kind of a project, and that is a gift actually, to be part of this womanhood.
Yeah. It's a new level of healing.
Yeah.
Ebony, did you have anything more in this?
I think these ladies have said it all. I'll just add, you know, it can be difficult because you have so many authors across so many different time zones as well. And so we were all on at different times. But even despite that, you know, especially in the little Facebook group chat, it was, even when I wasn't participating actively in the chat, I always read every single message. And even from afar, it was uplifting and helped keep me going and on track. So it was great.
Oh, wonderful to hear that. Thank you. The next question is, what would you say was your biggest aha or breakthrough moment? Adriana is next.
Well, I will tell you, I've never written anything that doesn't include a full body, transformational, cleansing, gut-wrenching aspect to it. So when I wrote this, it just, you know, it all came out and then my body caught up with it. And there were just so many tears and such a release. And what I realized is that when I was going through my experience of having a stillbirth, and I was going through the experience of keeping my marriage and my other 2 children on track and keeping my business, growing it actually, not just kind of keeping it afloat, I didn't always take the time to process everything that was happening. And so I got that time to process these emotions and the experience, and also to look back and acknowledge how much growth has happened in the last 3 years, how far I've come, how much I've let go, how much I've accepted, how much I have come to a peaceful place. And to have that moment of a victory lap and an acknowledgement of ourselves is the most powerful thing. It's wonderful when other people do it, but when we do it for ourselves, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And you're truly one of the strongest women I know, Adriana. So I salute you for that. So thank you,
Eleanor.
Camilla.
Yeah, well, my biggest aha moment or breakthrough moment is that I really love to sit here and talk to you guys live in a language that is not my mother tongue, and I love to talk about emotions and feelings and what I have inside, my thoughts, spirituality, healing, whatever, you know. I love that, and I didn't know that because I hated to raise my hand in the classroom or say anything because I didn't know what would come out of my mouth because of the stuttering. So for me to do this, and I love it, that was a breakthrough moment for me. Like, oh my God, am I the same person? No, I'm not the same person. I am a totally different person now.
Yeah.
Total extrovert.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so yeah, that was cool.
And it's the third book that you have written for us, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, Arise is the third, yeah.
Yeah. It's so much fun to see the process in the authors
Yeah, I can imagine because I have seen some of them, like from the first two books to this one. It's like, wow, they
Yeah.
really take their spot in the world for real.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
like speed healing,
Hmm.
speed trauma processing.
Speed healing. That was a nice one. Yeah, exactly. It's a speed healing.
I'm not doing
Gosh,
other books anymore. I'm doing speed healing books. That's
exactly. Fasten your seatbelts because wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Ebony, what is your thought?
Um, Funny how Ganilla just talked about she loved the sharing. And I guess during mine, I didn't realize as I was going through my process how much I was not sharing or talking to people because I didn't want to seem fragile, to those around me. And so as I was writing my chapter, I would let my husband read through it as I went along, and he'd be like, I never knew that. I never knew that, despite him being right there by my side through this whole thing.
Yeah.
But there were certain aspects of it that I was going through that I didn't even share with him. And so it made me realize that I do that sometimes and more cognizant about trying not to do that in the future as I'm going through stuff and not being afraid to raise my hand and ask for help or just share with someone how I'm feeling at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that is an important lesson for all of us.
Yeah, that is bravery to reach out and be
Yes.
vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I love that. You have so many amazing thoughts and lessons in this talk, this discussion. So the last question, or not perhaps the last, but one of the last. How do you think contributing to our books will shape the way you write in the future? Adriana, our master writer.
Well, I think you know this to a certain extent. What I have done for 12 years is really led with the businesswoman, right? This is what I do. This is what I can help you with. This is what it looks like. The very practical, let's get it done. Let's make money. Let's figure this out. And I didn't know it at the time, but I submitted my chapter to you. And then it was this whole, oh no, it just can't be that way anymore. It can't be that, like Ebony said, this part of you and these experiences and these aspects, they can't be a secret anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was also at the same time as writing this chapter in the process of writing my own book. And so I integrated all of the spiritual aspects of me, all of those things I tend to leave in the closet or I bring up after, I know who someone is and I know where they stand and I'm sure that it's all good. And so what it's really allowed me to do is to bring it all together. It's the integration. It's not this or that. It's not business or spirituality. It's not money or the other side. It's all the above at all times. And it's the whole person. And so that's how I am writing. That's how I'm leading. That's how I'm doing life now, going forward.
Amazing. And I have seen that, and I really love that you're being like 100% you by just jumping out of that spiritual closet and saying, hi, this is who I am. This is take it or leave it.
Yes. One of my favorite lines from Whitney Houston was love me or leave me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the place that we get to is this is who I am, love me or leave me.
Yeah.
True.
And we are so many that loves that part of you. So all of you. So yeah, we're just gonna keep loving you even more.
Thank you.
Thank you. Camilla.
Yeah, wow. I discovered that I want to write short stories. Short stories about what comes up in my sessions with my clients, because everything can come up, everything. And for most people, that might seem like, fantasy or science fiction stuff almost, or, but I want to write it down. I want to make short stories about everything because it's so amazing information coming out from their higher selves, and I want to share it with the world actually. So yeah, that will be the next step for me, I think. And so that came out of all these other books, that kind of urge to
Yeah.
put my thoughts on print or in print.
I love those ideas. I mean,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Super. And Ebony?
So maybe a little bit different than my other ladies here. I have written many blog articles, but this was my first chapter in a book, and I had been toiling around with writing my own book for a while. So one, it gave me the confidence that I can fill up a whole book of stuff. I wrote a chapter, I can do several chapters. And similar to what Adriana said, being able to do that in a way that is 100% me, not just part of me, but bringing all of it to the table and not being afraid to share those more vulnerable aspects of myself. I had a conversation with someone not too long ago about being authentic, and she was giving me a compliment about showing up authentic. And I said to her at the moment, well, they're going to get 100% Ebony. That's take it or leave it, love me or not.
Yeah.
So I'm appreciating being able to take this experience and apply it to maybe future chapters or future books of my own.
Yeah. You're amazing. You are so amazing. I'm so proud of you. I mean, this is why I'm doing this. This is why my passion lies in this, to share stories like yours. You are world changers. That is who you are, and I'm so grateful to know you, to be able to include you in my tribe and family. I am so grateful from my heart about that. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you if you have anything more you want to add before we say goodbye. Perhaps where they can find you on your social medias or platforms or whatever, or even add if you have something new coming up. I'm going also add that we are having so many projects in the loop right now. We are expanding globally in a massive way, and we have several different multi-author books. We have, for example, Stormborn, we have Multiverse, we have a lot more coming, and you are all welcome to be in them, of course. And if you want to see more from us, you are welcome to visit our website, houseofsovereignty.com. So please, Adriana, can you tell us if there is something more you want to end this with, and tell me about your future plans and everything that's happening now? New books.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I want to thank you for being the kind of woman who takes everything by the horns. Like you do everything big, and I love that about you. And I'm super excited because this book is coming out, and then a couple of days later, I have a book that's coming out, How to Start a Six-Figure Publishing Company, which I'm very excited about. And your story is featured in there. And then just 2 weeks after that, the Wall Street Journal book that you and I are both in is coming out. And so there's a lot of good things to celebrate, and there's a lot of big stories to share. So here we go.
Yeah. And this year, the growth that has come from last year to now, it's not like it's the same lifetime.
No.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's so cool. So I can't wait to see everything that you are planning and everything you are doing. It's you're also doing everything epically this year. So thank you. It's going to be so much fun. Gunilla.
Yeah, wow. I have another book coming up in, I don't know if it's like 2 or 3 weeks from now or something. It's a Swedish book, so it's the 4th one. And then I need to just sit with it for a while, and then maybe there will be a 5th book. I don't know, because I'm just taking it for what comes, and I will go for it. So I am very optimistic about the future. There will be a lot of stuff going on, and I can feel it in the air, so to speak. So I'm really, really looking forward to this year for the rest of it, because it's so much stuff out there. Yeah, going my way.
It's so much fun having you in the book, so I hope we will continue in more as well. So thank you.
I think so.
Ebony.
Yeah. So my company, You Deserve You, we're doing some rebranding and new products and services coming out soon. I think scheduled to announce right around the time the book is coming out. So people can follow me on Instagram. It's where I have the most information at Healthy is Wealthy Coach. And then I'm also involved right now with a project to get more women executives in the C-suite. And so we are looking for executive coaches to help participate in that program. And so you can find out more at csuiteparadigm.org if you're interested in learning more and participating there.
Yeah, wonderful. And for everyone that is listening, please, Google their names. Check them out on social media. I'm pretty sure they are both on Facebook, LinkedIn, and everywhere. And follow them, because these women are amazing, powerhouse women that are changing the world, and they have a lot of great offers. And just follow them. Just follow them and change your world with the help of them as well. And please buy our book when it's launched next week, the 28th of May. And follow us on social media, House of Sovereignty, Media House of Sovereignty, and Eleanor Amora. That is who I am, okay? So thank you so much for being here, and much love to all of you. I am just so excited to see what the future will bring. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.